What up, y'all? It's Dominic369. For those of y'all new to my channel, I am a sorcerer, an astrologer, and I own redclawconjure.com. In this video series, Tarot Crash Course, I will be teaching you guys this week about the symbolism of the tarot, the good stuff. Because when you understand the symbolism, that's what's going to help you learn how to do really good readings. When you understand the symbolism. So before I get ahead into the video, I want you guys to understand the video might be about 15 minutes long, and it's important that you watch the whole video. Even when it transitions from me talking in front of you into a slideshow of different tarot cards, I'm going to go in depth into the symbolism to help you understand how to extract as much information from the tarot card as possible, as quickly as possible, because you want to be an efficient and effective reader. You don't want to be one of the people that gets stuck and stumped on the cards. You want to understand, this is painting a picture for you, and you're just, telling the story based on the picture that's painted before you. It's a lot of things that, excuse me. It's a lot of things that have to be taken into account when you're looking at the symbolism in tarot cards. The four suits of the tarot cards: wands, cups, discs, and swords. Sometimes discs are called coins, but it's the same thing. Those are the discs and coins are the earth element. The swords are the air element. The cups are the water element, and the wands are the fire element. So fire, the fire element represents energy. Energetic, climate of the reading. So if you have an overwhelming, amount or a majority amount of fire cards, this is about energy and things that are about to occur and manifest. When you look at the cups are the element of the water, and the water represents emotions. So just like with the wands, if you have an overwhelming, amount of cups in your reading, if the cups are the majority, they don't have to be overwhelming. But if it's more cups, if you do a 9-card reading and it's five cups, this is an emotional situation, something that's the person's emotionally invested in, or a relationship question, or something to do with this person's emotions. The swords represent the element of air, and our mental cards represent the mental plane, thoughts and ideas. Excuse me. So when you're looking at different, a lot of swords in the spread, it's a lot of, communication, ideas, or thoughts going into a situation. And when you look at the discs or coins, that's the earth element, and the earth deals with the physical body and sensations. Finances, worldly things more attached to the material plane, because the earth element represents the material plane in most cases. And then as you go from the suits and the elements, you have to go into the numbers. And when you look at the numbers, the four suits, you have one. Just like in numerology, one is the beginning. You know what I'm saying? One is where everything begins at, when you get to two is, the energy has manifested. People outside of the energy are conscious of it. The person who manifested the energy is conscious of it. So there's a balance between the energy on the physical and the mental plane, or the physical or emotional plane, depending on what you're asking about. So twos represent some type of balance or understanding of the energy on more than one level, whether it's fire energy, water energy, earth energy, or air energy. It's an understanding of the energy and acceptance of the energy on more than one level. When it comes to the three is the number of manifestation, So this is when the idea becomes, actualized. If you're looking at, for example, the 3 of discs or 3 of coins, it shows that someone has established something, and the 3 of coins is kind of like a card that has some Saturnistic characteristics, because it's about, establishing, coming to the idea that you want to establish a foundation. And then, from that, you go to the 4, which is the foundations, of something. There's clear boundaries established, the idea has been realized. And with the 5, the 5s are usually about, power, whether it's a power struggle or worry about how people are going to use their power against you, or fear, with the 5 of coin, 5 of discs, it usually has to deal with fear of physical harm, or fear of, not having enough. The 6 card, the number 6, that's the number of balance and equilibrium. So when you move to 7, a person reaches, it's like humans, we reach a certain pinnacle in life and we feel accomplished and successful. At that 6, we feel, balanced out. And then we get to idealizing. 7 is the number of Venus, and it rules, Venus, the symbol of Venus is a hand mirror. So no, when you look at the 7s in the tarot deck, it talks about reflecting and idealizing. Especially the 7 of Cups. It's like, when one begins to covet, or one begins to, desire more and not be content what they have, and get distracted, idealizing what all the other possibilities in a relationship they can have. And then 8 is the natural number of Scorpio, death and transformation. An end comes to either the fantasy of something better, or the end of the relationship that they had in the 8 of Cups, that dies. And from the death of that, we go into the stage of 9, which is, the gestation stage. When you get to the 9s, that's like when a seed has gestated and the little sprout is just about to burst through the surface. That's what the 9 is. So that when the 9s pop up, and like if you got a lot of 9s, that from that reading, that things are about to start, bursting forth, because 10 is a number of completion. 10 is the number of completion and complete success, where you go to start all over again after the goal is accomplished with the 9. You want to look at the colors on the cards too, because that's absolutely important, because you're going to see different shades and hues of greens and reds and yellows, blacks, whites, and grays. And there's a difference in the energy. If you really take time to develop a relationship with your cards and sit down and feel them, and that's, again, those who practice the energy awareness exercise, you will be prepared when you get your deck and you start holding your deck, and you will be able to sense the difference in the frequency, and a shade of bright green, which is more akin to the heart chakra, and then like a murky yellow green, or a neon green, which seems vibrant and sometimes seems toxic. There's different frequencies in the colors that help you when your chakras are balanced, you aligned, and you in tuned. And I'm not telling you need to get a chakra balance, because you can balance your stuff yourself. There's a video. It's a video on there on the enchanted frequencies. You listen to that and pay attention, do the instructions, and you balance your chakras yourself, man. As long as you don't got no spirits attached to you, you'll be straight. Do it on a regular. Once you're aligning your energy and align with your purpose, you're not so distracted by things, and you can pick up on the frequency and vibrations of different colors and stuff. And that's really going to help you a lot on your exploration of the tarot. Exploration, man, because it's not just something that you learn and stop learning. It's like a never-ending library. It's a never-ending library and a beautiful journey. So with those few things explained, we're gonna go to the little kind of like slideshow version where I talk about the pictures of some cards. I hope y'all enjoying so far, taking notes. And if this is your first video, make sure you go back to, you know, episode 2 and episode 1 so you can get a good understanding of how things work and why they work and where they got incorporated into the modern life. Be right back. So the first card we're going to look at in breaking down the symbolism is the Three of Swords. If you look at the bottom of the card, you'll see the hilt of a sword surrounded by a serpent. Remember, swords represent thoughts. The colors involved in a card: there's a murky grayish black, there's a murky green, there's a toxic yellow green on the flower. So we'll go back to the bottom of the card. We know that, you know, at the bottom of our body system is the root chakra, represented by the Kundalini energy, the coiled serpent. Our thoughts have risen up from the root chakra, which rules fear, penetrated our crown chakra, which distorts our perception, hence the black and cloudy murky gray. Other toxic thoughts attacking the crown chakra, destroying our peace of mind, sending that toxic energy throughout our system, blocking, clouding our perception. This card, the Three of Swords, it alludes to our energy and perception being destroyed by toxic thoughts based on fear. So this card can tell of a person who's going through depression, imbalanced in their mind, you know, suffers from fear-based delusions. This card represents the chaotic mindset of anxiety, fear, and depression. Again, as we look at the top of the cards, there's two swords externally penetrating the flower that represents the crown chakra. This tells us that external factors also penetrate our mind and poison our thoughts. The abstract shapes reflect on shattered pieces of mirror, reflecting our broken pieces of ourself that project this fear and terror that, you know, contaminate our natural divine order that is represented by the flower of the crown chakra. Someone who is full of blossom and ready to be, you know, pollinated, to grow and to pollinate others, to stimulate growth in others. You know, so the Three of Swords, the Sorrow card, Saturn and Libra. You know, Saturn tells us, you know, you need to have boundaries and limitations. And Libra tells us you need to balance your thoughts, because swords allude to thoughts. I hope this gave you clear information on how to read the tarot based on the symbolism of the cards, the colors, the element, you know, the instrument. When I say instrument, I mean specifically the suit of the card, whether it's a sword, a wand, a disc, or a cup. All these things give you information and insight into the question that you asked.